Sir, now I can see, sir.
Just now only I shared. Till now I didn't share.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So shall we start? Guys, in the last session we discussed about the Django basic history, guys, and features about the Django we discussed. Now today installation related also we will discuss. So before that we will discuss for you about the previous concept. So Django history, guys, history means who developed, where developed, why developed, like that we discussed. So in which year started Django? In which year started Django? In the year 2003 started. Where started? Where started? In the Lawrence Journal newspaper organization, guys. Lawrence Journal newspaper organization. Okay, na? So this is the company. There developed. In 2005, they released it to public. Am I right? So in 2005, they released it to public, guys. Released it to public as an open source. As an open source. As an open source. Open source means, guys, open source means so freely anybody can download and can use that software. We can developing applications. No need to take the license versions. No need to take the license version. Okay,
Hello.
so all people getting my voice?
You were able to listen my voice, Srinivas?
Yes, sir.
Your video is on and it consumes lots of bandwidth and concentration. Okay, please switch off your video.
My video on. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, yaar. So now is okay? Okay.
Okay.
So in 2003, this Django was started. In 2005, released, guys. Who started? Who started means Adrian and Simon Wilson. Adrian and Simon Wilson. So both are authors, guys, developing this Django. So why they developed means when they are developing the new applications, a lot of times the same code they are designing, same code they are writing. So because of same code writing every time, so a lot of time is wasting. Duplicate code is coming, guys. Reusability is not there. So because of that, lot of time is wasting, and they are also getting irritation every time we are writing the same code. So application also not having the good performance because of the same code multiple times writing. That's why they factor out all the duplicate code from all existing applications. They taken into one file, and that file finally becoming like a Django. Okay, later using that Django file, they developed new applications. Those all applications are getting the lot of benefits, getting us. So saving the time, saving the cost, and giving the best performance. So that's why they decided, okay, using this Django, if we are developing further applications, then we are getting a lot of benefits like that. So that's why they are maintaining that file, and they are adding keep a lot of modules into that file. Okay, na? And also that file given to the public in 2005. Anybody, you can use my file, you will get a lot of benefits like that. They given information about the Django. Okay, na? So guys, they taken all common features into one file. They taken that file name as Django. So sometimes one would answer question you are getting, guys. Why our framework name they taken as Django? Why not other name? Why taken Django only? Why not other name? Why not your name, my name, like that? Okay, na? So why means our authors Adrian and Simon Wilson both are loving music, guys. These both people are loving music. Both are loving music. These people are music buffers. Okay, so they are loving music, and also they are big fan of one famous guitarist person is there. Adrian and Simon Wilson are loving music, and they loved one famous guitarist person. His name is Django Reinhardt. Guys. Django Reinhardt. So he is a famous guitarist person, guys. He is a famous guitarist person in US. Okay. So based on this person name, they taken our framework name as Django framework. Okay, na? So why they taken our framework? Why they kept our framework name is Django? Why not other name? Means our authors Adrian and Simon Wilson are loving one famous guitarist person. His name is Django Reinhardt. That's why they taken our framework is a Django. Framework name is a Django. Okay, na? So remember, guys, that one. And in the 2008, they resigned to this company, guys. They resigned to this company and they started their own organization, which name is DSF. Nothing but Django Software Foundation. Django Software Foundation, and which is it is a non-profitable organization. Non-profitable organization means so no income is coming, guys. So some people, the people who are using this Django framework, they are going to give donations, and by using that donation, these people are developing more features. They are hiring some new employees, and they are developing some more new features. And after that, we are using that new version of Django, and we are getting a lot of benefits. Like this cyclic process going, guys. Cyclic process going. Okay, na? So this is the basic history, guys. So futures we discussed a lot of futures, guys. A lot of futures we discussed. So what is that? One is the fast framework. Fast framework. How can you say? Means so by using the Django framework, if you are developing one application, very less lines of code you are writing, guys. Because of the less lines of code, we are going to be executing our program very speedily. That's why Django is a fast framework, we can say. Already I given one example, guys. In Python, print method, if you know about the print method, if you know, then you can print the hello message. But in Java, you need to learn a lot of words, a lot of concepts. So what is public, what is static, what is main, what is system, what is out, what is class name, what is curly brace. Like these all things, if you know, then only you are able to print the hello message in Java. So this is all making burden on the developers. That's why Python getting the popularity. Why means Python is not making more burden on the developer. Got it? So Python is purely developed. Django is purely developed by using the Python language. That's why Django is also getting a lot of benefits. Okay, na, guys? This is the fast framework. Because of that reason we are saying. So next, open source framework. Open source, guys. Open source framework. Open source framework means so no need to pay any amount to the any person, and freely we can download and we can see. So free and open source. So freely we can get and we can developing the application. Open source means, guys, whenever we are downloading the Django, along with Django, I mean Django how they developed, and in Django a lot of modules there. Each module is having what methods, what classes, like that entire description, entire data, source code data also we are getting. Source code data also we are getting, guys. That's why we are calling open source framework. Open source framework. Okay, na? So next scalable framework. So scalable framework we can say, guys. So scalable framework means one application we are designing using the Django. So that application can use by less number of people, more number of people, huge number of people also. Hence every day 100 requests if people are sending, handling 10,000 requests if people are sending, handling 1 lakh requests if people are sending, also handling. So that is the scalable framework we are calling. And versatile, guys. Versatile framework. Versatile means so using the Django framework we can developing the different domain based applications like banking applications, e-commerce applications, networking related, gaming related, like different things we can do it, guys. Okay, so these all things I will share you material, guys. So in that material, everything full explanation is there. So next, portable framework, important point. Portable framework or class platform framework. So portable framework means using the one platform like Windows OS, guys. We are developing one application without doing any changes. Without doing any changes, we can execute the same application in any other OS, and in other applications also we can communicate in. For example, in Windows system, I developed one application using Django. So that same application without doing any changes, we can execute in the Linux system, we can execute in the Mac system. And our Django application can communicate with Java application, can communicate with .NET application. That is, we are calling interoperability. We are calling what? Interoperability. So Django is also supporting that one. So next, guys, using the Django framework, if you are developing application, our application can communicate any kind of database. Okay? So all major databases support this Django, guys. Django supports all major databases. Django supports all major databases to store the data of our application. Okay, na? So one of the best feature is, guys, here major databases means MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, MongoDB. Like these all are databases, guys. So we need to download separately particular DB. We need to install, and then we can communicate using the Django to the particular database. Okay, na? So we have database section that I more clearly I will take care about the DB related, guys. With Django, how we are going to do communicating. Okay, so here one more benefit is Django by default. Django by default comes with one default database, guys. Django by default comes with one default database, which name is SQLite 3. This is also one of the database. That is, we no need of downloading, guys. Directly we can use this database. Okay, na? So if you want to use these databases, we need to download, and we need to write a database settings in the Django coding, then communicating to particular DB. If I'm writing MySQL settings, communicating to MySQL, Oracle settings, communicating to Oracle, like that required, guys. But this SQLite 3 related settings also by default coming. SQLite 3 coding also by default coming, and the database also by default downloading. Okay, so that is also one of the benefit, guys. So next, Django by default coming with admin site, guys. Admin site, one of the predefined application, guys. Every application you can take it, Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato. Every application required admin people. Admin people interacted with our admin site, and they will using the admin site, they are interacted with the database, and they are going to handling their application related data. For example, if you are taking a Swiggy or Zomato, so in this site, guys, in the database, first these admin people are going to maintaining all food information with cost. Okay, so one biryani item 200, one vegetarian item 150 rupees, like that everything they are maintaining, including item images also. Okay, na? So then as a user, people can see those all item information, then they will buy whatever they want. So first admin people required to communicate database to maintaining our application related data, guys. So to do that process, Django is by default getting this admin site application. As a developer, we are not responsible to create, guys. So one of the benefit. And Django by default coming with one default application, which name is auth application. Auth application means authentication related application. So using this application, we are going to get lot of ready-made code, guys. Whenever I'm trying to create some classes already available here, some methods already available here, some functions already available here, some modules already available here. So those all modules or classes or methods we can use and we can developing the rest of the code. Okay, na? So this is also one of the benefit, guys. One of the benefit. So like this, n number of advantages there, guys. N number of advantages there. That's why our Django framework is getting more demanding. Django framework is getting more demanding. So simply assumption, admin side related code we no need to write, automatically coming. Authentication related code we no need to write, automatically coming. So obviously we are reducing the lines of code. We are reducing the lines of code in our application. So lines of code you are reducing means, guys, so all lines in Python, all the lines in Python, top to bottom, line by line executing, guys. Line by line executing. So in any line error is there or not, like that, checking, guys. Okay. So while checking all the lines, if more lines there, more time is required. More time is required. After checking all lines, then only executing, guys. So to developing all the lines, time is required, and executing purpose also time is required. So simply because of time increasing, duration of the project increased, and because of execution time increasing, performance is decreasing, guys. Performance is decreasing. So like a lot of problems there without these all things, without these sites. So because of this admin site and authentication application, we are going to write less lines of code. Less lines of code. So less lines code writing means within the less time our program executing, and within the less time we can developing. Within the less time we are developing means the cost of the project decreasing and the duration of the project decreasing. Okay, readability is increasing, complexity is decreasing. Like so many benefits there, guys. That's why this Django framework is getting more demanding. So clear all of you? So these all things in the last session we discussed, guys. So given just overview, yesterday we discussed clearly. That means maybe some person, a new person may be available here. Okay, may join today. That's why I given all the overview. So now Django installation we are going to be discussing, guys. Django installation, Django framework installation, guys. So guys, before installing the Django, what are the prerequisites? Means we discussed the previous session. Python software, guys. Python software is required. Python software is required to install. Python software is required to install Django, guys. So guys, Python where you are downloading? So www.python.org official site. So here downloads there. Now here from here you are going to downloading whatever the version you want, you are installing. Okay, as a Python developer, you all people know this one, downloading and installing, guys. Downloading and installing. So after downloading and installing Python, guys, then along with Python, Python is installing in the C drive some location, guys, generally default location. If you want, you can select a user defined location also. That is all your ways. So now my point is, after downloading and installing the Python software, along with Python software, some modules coming, predefined modules coming, some functions coming, predefined functions, some exceptions coming, predefined, some methods coming, like a print method, type method, int method, okay, input method, like so many functions we used in the Python, guys. So like that, along with the Python software, lot of predefined modules or functions or methods or classes, lot of things we are getting, guys. Those all are available in the C drive. Whatever we want, we can use whenever we are developing our application. Got it? So along with the Python software, one pip command is also coming, guys. One pip command is also coming. Pip stands for Python installer package. Python installer package. Pip stands for Python installer package. Some people also called as Python package installer. So by using this pip command, we are going to install in the Python third-party modules, guys. By using the pip command, we are going to install in the Python third-party modules. third party modules, guys. So third party modules means what? Third party modules. First of all, what is module? We need to know. So these all are basic Python knowledge, guys. Just I'm going to give here over here. So remember, guys. So module is nothing but in Python every .py, guys. In Python every .py file, we are calling module only. We are calling module. Clear, guys? This one in Python every .py file we are calling module. Every Python file's extension is .py is there, guys. File name .py, that is Python file. Demo.py, example.py, sample.py, all are Python files. HTML extension is .html is there. Java extension is .java is there. Okay, so same like Python file extension is .py is there, guys. Remember that one. So in Python every .py file we are calling the module. For example, demo.py, sample.py, so etc, guys. Yeah, so we have totally 3 types of modules, guys. In Python we have totally 3 types of modules we have, guys. In Python we have totally 3 types of modules. What are those available, guys? What 3 types of module there? Tell me names. One is predefined module, guys. Predefined module also called as built-in modules, guys. Built-in modules means along with Python software coming. So which modules we are calling the predefined modules means the modules which are coming, guys, which are coming along with Python software, guys. The modules which are coming along with the Python software whenever we are installing. Okay, na, guys? The modules which are coming along with Python software whenever we are installing. These modules we are calling a predefined modules, or else built-in modules, guys. Built-in modules. So tell me some examples of built-in modules. So for example, so OS module, guys, by default coming. JSON module by default coming. RE module, Python regular expression automatically coming. Math module automatically coming, guys. Date time module automatically coming. Like this n number of modules there, guys. OS module, JSON module, RE module, math module, date time module. Okay, na? So these all are coming along with by default Python software only. Predefined modules we are calling. Okay, now second one is, guys, user defined modules. Second one is user defined modules. So user defined modules means the modules which are not coming along with Python software, guys. The modules which are developed by developers. As a developer we are developing the modules which are developed by developers to performing the particular task, guys. To performing the particular task. So whenever we are going to do particular task, we are going to create some requirements, guys. We are going to create some logics. So these logics we are calling these logics we are writing inside one file. That file we are calling user defined module. So for example, my requirement is I want to add 2 numbers, guys. Now first number I want to take, second number I want to take, and I want to add both numbers. I want to give result. Okay, na? So these all logics we are going to write inside one programming. So as a developer, if we are creating any Python files, as a developer, if we are creating any Python files to performing particular task, to perform particular task, then we are calling user defined, guys. Then we are calling user defined modules, so which are not coming along with Python software, guys. So for example, tell me some names: demo.py, sample.py. So these all are user defined files, guys. add.py, like that. Okay, so as a developer we are writing, guys. So user defined modules. For example, you can see here, this is my program, guys. So we can import, guys. So we can import math module, and predefined module is there, that is the math. By using the import keyword we are going to be importing. So import math module, and then using the math module you can performing some operations here. Math module having some methods, guys. Math dot power function is there. For example, power of 2 comma 3 means to the power of 3 value finding and result available in the m. That m value you can print m, you are going to get the result. Okay, na? So why we are using this math module related functions means to calculating values. So to the power of 3 means 2 into 2 we are getting, guys. 2 2 is 4, 4 2 is 8. But if I am giving as a power of 15 comma 12, if I am giving, then what happened? 15 into 15 into like that 12 times we need to write, we need to find the result. So this is making a lot of burden manually calculating if you are doing. That's why we are going to use this power function. So here numbers just you can give, result automatically coming. Okay, so predefined modules giving a lot of helping to developers, guys, while they are developing user defined modules. In user defined modules, if you want to use any predefined concepts, using the import keyword we are going to be importing. Okay, na? So remember, guys, that one. So next third party modules there, guys. Third party modules. So third party modules means, guys, along with Python software by default not coming. As a developer you are not creating. Myself developer, guys, I'm not creating. So then what modules we are calling third party modules means, so some other developers created some modules and they are maintaining these modules in the internet location, in web location they are maintaining, guys. So those modules whenever we required, we are going to downloading and we are going to use inside our development. Then those modules we are calling the third party modules, guys. Third party modules. So the modules or else you can write. So along with Python software, these modules not coming, guys. Along with the Python software not coming, third party modules along with Python software not coming, and also as a developer, we are not creating. Okay, so some other people, guys, some other developers created these modules. Some other developers created these modules and they are maintained, guys, and they are maintained in web locations, and they are maintained in the web locations. These all third party modules. So whenever we required, guys, can see how do you get these third party modules from the internet. That is the process now. So whenever we required these third party modules, guys, these third party modules, then by using then by using pip guys, then by using the pip command we are going to get guys. Then by using the pip command, so by using the pip command we will get. Okay, na guys. So whenever we require the third-party modules, then by using the pip command we will get it. So using the pip command, we are going to be downloading as. So pip stands for Python installer package, which is used to downloading the third-party modules from the internet location. Okay, na guys. So pip command is used to download or else to getting. So pip command is used to download the third-party modules, from internet location, into user defined modules. That is the process, guys. So what is pip stands for what? Pip is, can you explaining about the pip sometimes asking, or else what is the use of pip command asking, guys? So pip stands for Python package installer, which is coming along with Python software whenever we are installing the Python. So by using this pip command, we are going to installing the third-party modules which are available in the internet. That is the process, guys. So how we are going to use this pip command means, so open the command prompt, guys. Open the command prompt. So you can use pip followed by install, pip install followed by a required module name, guys. Followed by required module name. Whatever the module you want to install, that module name we can use here. So pip install required module name. This command we are going to be installing using, guys, trying to use. So then this pip command is doing what? This pip command is doing what means, can see, guys, one flow can see. So here my user defined program is there. Here my user defined Python file is there, guys. Assumption here user defined code, nothing but user defined module. You can consider like a user defined module. So next here Python software is there, guys. Python software is there. So Python software is nothing but predefined module. Predefined module, nothing but Python software, guys. Python software, where you are downloading and installing Python software. There a lot of modules there, that is we are calling predefined modules. Okay, so now here some third-party modules there, guys. Some third-party modules there. Third-party modules. So many third-party modules there, guys. So many third-party modules there. Module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, like thousands of third-party modules there. N number of third-party modules there, guys. Okay, na? So here some predefined modules there, guys. So for example, what are the predefined modules means? OS module, RE module, math module. Okay, so like so many, guys, date, time module, like that. These all are available in the Python software. So whenever we are developing this code, guys, user defined module, this is our target, guys. As a developer, we are working here. So if you want to work here, if you want to develop in this code, we need to use this Python software. So whenever we are developing the user defined code, guys, sometimes we require predefined code. So these predefined modules we will get into the user defined code. Python predefined modules we will get into the user defined module. How we are getting into user defined module means by using the import keyword. Import math, guys. Import math means from the Python software, that math module we are loading into the user defined module. So Python software is available in the C drive. Assumption, C drive. So my user defined module, my Python file is available in the D drive guys, D drive for example. So whatever the module right now, Python math module, this math module I want to get from Python software to my local program. So using the import keyword we will get it guys. Later onwards you can use that module m equal to math dot power of some value 2 comma 3 something. This result we are getting into here guys. This result getting storing into m variable, that is we can print. Okay na? So like that guys. So when we are developing our coding, user defined coding, sometimes we required predefined modules, we can import by using the import keyword and we can use those modules. Okay na? So next, sometimes we require these third party modules also guys. Third party modules. Then what we are doing means open the command prompt. So pip install and module name you are going to use requested module whatever you want guys. Then pip command is doing what means pip command is going to be communicated with pip command is going to be communicated with web location guys. First pip command is communicated to web location. Okay, in this web location searching for this module guys, searching for this required module and finding that not available guys, this module immediately it is going to return one error here only, module not found error, module not found error, that module is not available, that's why we are unable to installing, so module is not installing guys. Okay na? If that module is available, then searching for that module, finding that module, downloading that module and installing that module, everything is done by pip only. So pip is finding the required module and before that searching that module, finding and downloading and installing also guys. So whenever we installed for example we have one pillow module, later I will tell about the pillow. So we have one pillow module, I want to use here pillow guys. Pip install pillow, then pip command communicating to internet, a lot of module there, finding the pillow module, downloading that module and installing. After installing guys, after installing these third party modules, downloading and storing inside the Python software only. Now here pillow is there, third party module, pillow module is third party module guys. So if you want to use this third party module into your user defined programming, then using the import keyword only we are going to be importing. Okay na? So the modules which are available in the main Python, those all by using the import keyword we can import into user defined code, and now as a developer we can developing our code. Okay na guys? So this is the process, three types of modules. So user defined modules means as a developer we are writing. So predefined modules sometimes we are using whenever we require, and third party modules available in the internet. First from the internet we need to download those modules and later we can import into our user defined code. See this pip interacted to web, finding this, downloading and installing here. Now this is by using the import keyword, I'm importing to here and I can use whatever I want to do it. Okay na? So this modules concept, remember guys, in Python only you are getting in the module concept, you are getting these all things. And in Django we discussed right now. In the REST API coming days also people are going to explaining these all things. Remember guys. So now using this statement I'm trying to download this one. So pip command is always latest version downloaded guys. Pip command is always latest versions downloaded, and if you want any old version, then by using double equal to version number we are using guys. So simply remember, I want to install in the Django guys. I want to install in the Django. For example, Django is a third party module, not software. So if it is like a Python software means you are downloading software manually, one exe file is coming, by clicking next you are installing guys. But here Django is a module, Python module, modules using the pip command we are going to installing guys. Pip install Django, this is the command guys. Okay, this is the syntax, this is the command. now pip command is communicating to web, searching for Django and finding the latest version of Django. So many versions there, guys. Finding the latest version of Django, downloading that. Okay, na? So this is doing what? Latest version downloading. Latest version downloading. That one, guys. So if you want any specific version, guys, if you want any specific version, Django double equal to version number you are going to use, guys. For example, 2.x. So syntax I'm writing. If you want, you can take it version number. So here Django and version number in middle double equal to is there, no space, guys. Some people are taking like this sometimes. Django space double equal to space version number. So no space is there, it is a totally single word. So pip install Django with so and so version. That is the process, guys. So required or else a specific version downloaded. Searching for this module only, guys. This version of module. Here searching for this module, latest one finding, downloading that, installing. But here searching for Django with a specific version and finding that version, installing that version. Okay, now everyone. So Django, how installing means, this is the process. This is the process. After installing the Django, guys, after installing the Django, now Django related one predefined file is coming. Django related one predefined file is coming. That is django-admin.py. So this is our Django related main file, guys. Django related main file, django-admin.py. Django-admin.py file, guys. Okay. So this is our Django framework related main file. So this file, after downloading, where it is available means inside the Python software only available, guys. So after installing the Django framework, and this Python Django framework related file is available in the Python software location. Python software location. By using this Django-admin, we are going to create the Django projects and the Django applications, guys. So projects how creating, applications how creating, these all things in the later session I will show you. Okay. So right now, after installing, guys, after installing Django module, after installing Django module, then it is available in Python software, guys. Then it is available in Python software location like where it is available in Python software means in the Python software, guys. In Python software, so subfolders there in particular location. So scripts folder is there, guys. Scripts folder is there. In this location, our Django-admin file is there. Django-admin.py file is there. Okay, guys. So always all the modules are available in the script folder. So now using the pip command, I installed that module is downloading and storing inside the script folder. Okay, now everyone. So remember, guys, up to here. And now this pip command environment variable we need to set, guys. After installing the Python environment variables and pip command environment variables we need to add. So for that we can check it like this. Open the command prompt, guys. Open the command prompt. Open the command prompt. Here your C drive users username, your username coming. So in my system ThinkPad is there. In your system your name is there. So open the command prompt. Simply type it Python here. Type it Python here. So this is what Python prompt, guys. Python prompt, Python area. So whenever we are typing here Python, if you are getting immediately like that, so using the command prompt we can interact with Python. Okay, na? So some people whenever they are using this Python here, guys, immediately one error they are getting, that is Python is not recognized. Python is not recognized is an internal or external command. Python is not recognized is an internal or external command, like that error coming. So why we are getting that error means this Python we installed but this Python environment variables we did not added in the environment variable section. That's why we are getting the error. Okay, so after installing the Python, we need to add this environment variable section for the Python. Then only we can get like this way, guys. Okay, so next here, if you want to come back, guys, Control Z, then again coming to the command prompt. Again coming to the command prompt. And if you want to install any module, guys, using the pip and install pip install required module name we are writing as required module name. So before using this pip command, first of all, where this pip is there, if you are not providing environment variables for pip, so pip is not recognized as an internal or external command error you are getting as. So that's why we need to add this pip command path also, pip command path also. Okay, na? So Python software path we need to give, pip command path we need to give. Then only those both are working from the command prompt. Working from the command prompt. Okay, na? So now first see where these two things available. So these all things in Python only you are getting guys knowledge. Just I'm giving overview. So in the C drive, guys, in the C drive, users, username, ThinkPad in my system. In your system, your name is there. Now here app data is there, guys. By default, this app data is a hidden folder. Hiding, guys. I want to open that one. Okay, I want to enable that one. So hidden folders, how we are enabling means. So here view is there. Click on view. Click on the view, guys. So after clicking this view menu, now here one checkbox displaying. One checkbox displaying hidden items checkbox. Just you can select, guys, this one. Just you can select this one. Okay, na? Whenever we selected these hidden items, then hidden folders like for example app data is hidden folder. This hidden folder is going to show you here. Is going to show you here. If I unselected this one, guys, unselected this one, this is not showing here, unable to find. Okay, na? So click on the views, click on the hidden item checkbox, then we are getting the app data. So next click on the app data, guys. Click on the app data. Going inside, now click on the local. In the app data we have local. Now here so many are there, guys. Somewhere programs there. Click on the programs. Now here so many are there. Python. Click on the Python. In Python 3.7, 3.9, whatever the version you are using, that version you are getting. So Python 3.7. In the Python 3.7, so many libraries, so many folders with including files there, guys. So now here somewhere Python exe is there. This one. Somewhere Python exe is there means this is the Python executable file, guys. So Python software executable file means this is a Python interpreter. Python is executing with interpreter, guys. This one is nothing but interpreter. Okay, na? So where this Python interpreter is there, guys, up to that location we need to give an environment variable settings. So this is thing, guys. So after Python 3.7 slash we need to give this one. We need to give this one up to this 3.7 folder. So copy this location, guys. Copy this location. We need to paste into environment variable section. Environment variable section. So this is finding the. This is indicating the where Python software is there. In this folder is there. Okay. Next, where pip is there, guys. After adding these environment variables in the command prompt, then whenever we are typing like this Python, immediately you are going to get this one. Otherwise, the Python is not recognized as an internal or external command, like error showing, guys. Okay. So now pip command I want to use, guys. Pip install so and so module. Pip not available, like that error coming. So how we are solving that one means, so in this same location, guys, in the Python 3.7 location only we have script folder. So in this script folder we have Django-admin. Today we installed, guys. Okay, or else some days back we installed, like that, everything understanding. So this Django-admin file is responsible to creating the Django projects. Okay, so now here pip is there, guys. So this pip is responsible to installing all third-party modules. Okay, so that's why this pip is available in the script folder, guys. So scripts slash we need to give up to scripts slash this path we need to give inside the environment variable section. Then from the command prompt only, guys, we can execute all the commands. Otherwise, this entire command every time we need to change here, guys. C drive, USL, ThinkPad, programs. Okay, like that. All the command we need to test it. All the commands we need to test it. Okay, so that's why simply pip I want to use. So pip where available, that environment settings also we need to provide, guys. Environment settings also we need to provide. Okay, so after adding that, pip is recognized by interpreter. Otherwise, pip is not recognized as an internal or external product like that coming. Okay, na? So how we are adding means up to this script folder is a pip command location, except script folder is Python location, guys. So copy these lines, guys, after this slash ending also slash. Copy these lines, paste into the environment variable section. Environment variable section. So keep your mouse, guys. Open your desktops. You open your computer. So here computer, guys. Open your computer. Right click on properties. Right click on properties. Click on advanced system settings. And click on environment variables. And now here, guys, user variables, system variables there. Whenever we are going to executing Python related files, all the environment variables we need to add, guys, here. Okay, so here path is there, guys. In this path you can click edit. So here can see Python software where available in this location, available in C drive, ThinkPad, app data, local programs, Python 3.7 followed by script folder slash interpret pip command is there here, slash pip command, guys. Okay, that is one point. And where our Python is there, that location also you are giving 3.7 I'm using like that. Okay, na? So these are two environment variables we need to add in the environment variable section. Then you can use, guys, in the command prompt. In the command prompt, simply we can type the Python. Then you are going to get like this way, path. That is the Python prompt, guys. So next, another one is this is the Python related. Now pip command. Pip command is available in this location, guys. Python 3.7 location available script folder. In the script folder we have pip command. So pip command is used for installing the third-party modules. So if you want to install in third-party modules, then simply using the command prompt, type it module name. Otherwise, every time in the command prompt we need to redirect, guys, this location. So after this location slash your Python file, anyone what you are giving, anyone file what you want to execute, that is we can give it. Okay, na? So simply here add the environment variables for Python software whatever you installed and pip location up to script folder there available pip, guys, up to Python 3.7 where there available Python interpreter. So those the two locations we need to add in the environment variable section. Okay, na? So then we can work with Python, we can work with pip command, guys. Everything is done. So close all the things. So I added, guys, right now both are available. That's why using the command prompt I can successfully communicate. Okay, na? So remember, guys, up to here remember for this day. So here only the command prompt, if you want, you can see. So what version of Python we are using? So Python version we can use, guys. So what Python version we are using, you are getting, guys. So pip version, pip version what you are using, you're going to get, guys, 21 version I used pip version. Next, Django version how we are using. Django file name is Django-admin. So Django-admin version we're going to use. We're going to get 2.0.5 I'm using. After some session 3 also we can use. How we can use the required version? I told pip install Django double equal to required version number, whatever you want. Okay guys, so like we can check it. If these environment variables you are not adding for pip python means Python not recognized or pip command is not recognized as an internal or external command, like that error showing. Okay, so okay guys, thank you for this day. I'm going to stop now here. Django how installing we discussed. Later after Django installing one file coming Django-admin, using that file, what is the file, that file benefit and where that is available, using that file what we can do, project how creating, application how creating, how running this server, these all things in the next session I'm going to teach you. Don't miss it. Okay, and guys, as soon as possible you need to contact with management people, online team. You need to do your registration, then directly we will start the programs guys. Okay, thank you guys. So I'll stop the recording. You can ask your wait, you can ask your queries. I'll stop the recording. Yeah, tell me.
Notes share cheyara sir.
Definitely, I need to take your emails guys, then I'll share you. Okay, so emails are going to give, your emails are taken by online team and those people giving your emails to me, then I will share.
Okay. Yesterday I pay the money for the amount.
Yeah, no problem. I'll talk to today with the online team. I'll take your mails. Okay.
Okay sir.
So
Okay.
Anvika, here REST API is not in this part guys. In this batch REST API we are not teaching. REST API separate batch is going very soon. Within the week I'm going to start that one. REST API separate. That is also more than 1 month required. I mean 30 sessions required for that also. Separate batches. Okay, na? So Django is separate. Django REST framework is separate. Django framework different. Django REST framework different. Okay, na? So your mails you can drop here in the chat box. I'll take your mails. All your mails you can drop here. In the chat box. You can send here mails. Otherwise, you can give to your mail to the online team. I'll take from there.
Sir, what is Django REST framework, sir?
That is one extension concept of Django framework, guys. So using the Django REST framework, we are going to do communication from one application to another application. So using the Django web development we are doing. Okay, for example, you can take it Book My Show. So using the Django we are developing that Book My Show. Okay, whenever I'm typing www.bookmyshow.com, we will get it presentation, Book My Show presentation, all theaters, movie names, everything we are going to see. Okay, whenever you are selecting one theater and selecting one movie and selecting the number of tickets, you need to do payment you need to do. So whenever we are clicking that payment button, our Book My Show application is communicated with bank application. Okay, na? So from the browser, whenever I'm sending request, that is communicating to Book My Show. That Book My Show is nothing but using the Django I developed. Okay. Next, my Django communicating to bank application. For example, SBI Bank I'm using. That SBI Bank is developed by using Java frameworks, guys. Java language. So my Django code communicated with Java application. My Django application communicated with Java. So Django data types, memory types, object creating, way of coding, everything different. And the Java side, data types, memory types, variable creation, everything different. So Django totally different format is there, Java different format is there. But how they are communicating? By default, not possible. As a Django REST framework developer, we are doing that conversion. Our Django code converting into Java, Java code converting into Django. Okay, like one language code into another language format. via different formats we are communicating. That is Django REST framework. So when we are doing that communication only, then app to app communication possible. Conversion, if we are doing perfectly, app to app communication possible. That is in Django REST framework we are going to discussing.
So this is also compulsory to learn getting a job, sir.
Yes, guys. If you want to becoming like a Python side developer, Python application developer, if you want to becoming like a Python developer, Python language required, Python language related Django framework required. After that, Django REST framework also required. Three things mandatory, guys. Okay. So if you are a fresher, then Python, Django, you can learn and you can attend the interviews, you can get the job, no problem, using the Python and Django. But this fresher also after 1 year becoming like an experienced person, or else as a fresher, if you are joining in the startup companies, normal small companies, then you need to work on REST API also. In the MNC companies means only experienced people are working. If you are joining in the small company means you need to work on there also. Okay. So for after getting the job, 100% every developer must be doing work on the REST API also. REST API nothing but Django REST framework, guys. Django REST framework people are calling REST API simply. So REST API must be required for Python developer. Not only this side, guys. If you are a Java developer, Java side also API is there. You are a .NET developer, .NET side also API is there. Guys, please keep mute your speakers. Ravi Kumar,
Yes, sir.
Madhu, somebody is opened your speaker, getting a lot of disturbance. When you want to talk, just unmute. Otherwise, you can mute it. Yeah, tell me any other. So one point, remember, guys, in your resume only Python Django is there. Your friend resume Python Django and REST API also there. Compared to you, your friend resume is getting more weightage. The people who knows Django REST framework means that person already knows about Django. That's why management people, company people are giving high priority to Django REST framework developers. Okay, so a lot of benefits there. When you are attending the REST API related demos, you will understanding what is the use of that. Okay, so in
Hello.
our Durgasoft, myself only I'm teaching REST API. No one is there other faculty. So in totally Amripet market only few members there, guys. In all the institutes, no one is there. REST API faculties. Tell me.
Sir, this is Sujit, sir.
Yes, Sujit, tell me.
Sir, just now you have given the path of pip command, na?
Yeah.
You have given in system environmental variable or user environmental variable, sir?
Anywhere
Or
you
pip
can give.
location.
First, anywhere you can give.
Sir.
I given in user environment variables. Okay.
Right.
First, it is checking the system environment variables. If they are not available, then going to user environment variables.
Okay. Sir, one more doubt, sir. When we install Python ideally directly, na, from internet, we have downloaded and installed.
Yeah.
It won't take that pip location, sir, automatically without giving.
See, properly when we are installing Python software, then automatically taking. If not taking, then how we are giving, that is I explained.
Right. Because if my system it's working properly, sir, without giving the pip location.
Yes. By default working.
Yeah,
Old version Python 2.7 is there, guys. Old version. That time every time we need to give manually. But in
Okay.
Python 3.7, 3.6, 3x version automatically coming. Whenever we
I
are
have,
installing some checkboxes, it is asking. When we are selecting that, then no problem.
okay. I have also installed 3 dot above version, sir. That's why it's working properly.
Why I'm telling means some people when they are installing the Django, guys, pip install Django here, using the command prompt, they are typing pip install Django. Then immediately people are getting error. Pip not recognized as an internal or external command, and like one error coming. Sir, in my system, pip is not working like that. People are asking so many times doubts. That's why
Okay.
you need to give like that. I told.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And those all path also what I showed here, these all commands how to find this specific version, like these all things also in material is there. So just step by step when going, then immediately understanding. Actually, these all things at the time of learning Python only we are getting. I mean, starting Python time only we are installing these all things. Python installing, version finding, environment variables adding, all the things. So for the Django, no need to add any environment variables. Django is internally connected with Python only. So for Django, no settings. Okay, na?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So don't miss, guys, in the tomorrow session, total project, how creating application, how creating project application differences and running the servers, by default what port number there, how we are writing our own port number, these all things I will show you.
Sir,
So as soon
sir,
as possible, you guys must be communicate with the online team and do registration. Very soon this link is going to change. Then onwards, you people are unable to communicate. Tell me,
sir, one thing, sir. Hold out.
what is Sujit?
Sir, which ideally we have to use, sir, for Django?
Yeah, yes. Here so many IDs we have, guys. So I'm going to
Okay.
use PyCharm. PyCharm. Generally,
Okay.
when people are learning about the Python, people are doing practice with the PyCharm. Most of the people, not all people, I'm talking. Okay.
Okay.
So PyCharm, how working, I'm going to show you. And in some programs, sometimes Sublime text is also there. That is how we are going to. I'll show you. So many are there. Eclipse is there. Visual Studio Code is there, and NetBeans is there. Eclipse is there. Okay, like so many are there. Whatever you are compatible, you can use that one.
Okay. Can I use Visual Studio, sir? Already
Definitely.
I'm right, sir. Okay.
Definitely. So that is you need to take one day some extra attention. You need to put, guys. So Python, how we executing with Visual Studio. So that is
Okay,
if you are doing if you are searching in the YouTube, you will understanding. Coding is same. Way of using the ID only changing, shortcuts changing. For example, in PyCharm, one shortcut is there. Make the duplicate. In Visual Studio, maybe another shortcut is there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, na?
Thank you, sir. Right, sir.
That's
Bye.
why I'm not teaching about the different IDs. I mean, I too don't know exactly all the shortcuts in the different IDs.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sir.
So
Okay.
using PyCharm related all these shortcuts, how we are getting some days, I mean, in the real time, our local code we are sending to server, guys. So using PyCharm, how we are sharing our code to server, these all things I will show you.
Okay, sir. I will also use PyCharm for your class purpose. Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
That's your
problem.
way, sir. So
Okay.
that is I mean, tomorrow I will explaining about the PyCharm also. Here two types of versions there: community version, professional version, like that. So community
Okay.
version means what? A professional version means what? Like we will discuss.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye,
Right.
guys. So can I close session?
Sir,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Tell me.
Sir, there are a lot of versions in Python. Sir, there are a lot of versions in Python. So, in that, which version is perfectly suitable for this framework, sir?
So 3.6 onwards, you can use anyone. 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, anyone you can use. So generally, I'm using 3.7, guys. In the real time, some standard versions people are using, not latest version always. I mean, latest version not. I mean, maybe sometimes not supporting to all other dependency files. So latest 3.9 if you are using, that is maybe not supporting with the latest module of databases, latest databases. Okay, that's why some standard versions we are using, and I am using a 3.7, guys. So if you want, you can directly use 3.9 also. Don't worry. A lot of my students are using all latest versions only in their classes. Okay, so that is your wish. I am using 3.7.
Sir, and
Yeah.
sir, and from when we are going to get into coding, sir? From which section we are going to get into direct coding, sir?
I mean, in the tomorrow session, I'm going to show you project creating, application creating, all things. Once the project's application is all things creating, directly development we will start programmatically.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Using these IDs, this is the ID to develop in the coding, guys. So here a lot of code we are going to be developing. So these all things in the class only live I will show you live development, and every day after developing this code I will say to you, and everything procedure I'll give you. Don't worry, by seeing lot of lines code, some people are getting doubts. So, am I able to write these all lines of code like that? So everything procedure is there. According to procedure we can develop. Okay,
Sir,
Okay.
yeah, tell me.
hello, sir. To become a Python
tell
full
me.
stacker, we must to become a Python full stack developer, we must should
Yeah,
do Django REST, sir.
yes, sir.
We
Should be
should learn
Django
Django
REST
REST.
framework. Django is
It's
important
mandatory.
mainly. Django is mandatory along with Python. Python, Django, and with some front-end technologies, UI technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, these all things. And later, Django REST framework is why, is for what purpose I'm telling, means one application to another application, communication purpose. So I have one application here, for example, assumption. Here, I have one application, guys. Just here one database is there. In this database, some data is there like that. Okay. So here my Django application is there. This is my Django app. Django app, guys. Django app. So after developing Django application from the browser, you are sending the request, guys, to the Django. Now Django taking that request, communicating
Okay.
to database, and now you are getting the response back. Okay, na? This response we are sending to the browser. This is in Django we are learning, guys, regularly. Now REST API, Django REST framework is for what purpose? Means here another application is there, Java is there, for example, Java app is there, guys. Java app is there. From this Java, I want to send one request to Django. Now Django taking that request, communicating to DB, getting the response. This response sending to Java. Now Java using that data, whatever they want to do. Okay. So from application to application, communication purpose, REST API is required. Using Django not possible. Using Django getting errors.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Sujit here. Sir, I need small
Yeah.
help from you. Sir, I don't know front end work like what we call HTML properly, sir. Can you help
Yeah.
us? Can you take 2-3 sessions, sir?
I told guys already in while developing our Django coding, front-end related
Right.
HTML, CSS, Bootstrap related all fundamentals, rules, regulations, I'll take care, no problem. Separate
Please
sessions
take
we are discussing using that HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. We are developing some application, and
JavaScript, sir.
also on end of the day only with the front end. I mean with the back end, with the front end, some applications we are doing, and also only with the front end also one application we are going to do like this. This is
Right.
some existing applications. These are all front end. I think is their Django. Only HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. Okay, na?
Okay.
How we are designing, I will take care of these all things. No, don't worry.
Please help me in JavaScript also, sir.
That is depending on situation, guys. Depending on situation, wherever required, there we are using. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm telling one point. So more completely, if you want to learn about the UI technologies, so separate UI courses, UI batches going. Okay, UI batches going. So you need to plan 2 months. They are teaching about the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, jQuery, JavaScript, these all things. 2 months.
Okay.
Here within the 2 months, we need to complete our Django first of all. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why
Okay.
you need to understanding what we are going to discussing here, front end related. So basic
Okay.
things what required, fundamentals, everything I'm giving, and using that fundamentals from the Google only we are going to get. For example, we have so many tutorials, guys. So you can take it AA3 schools. For example, just so here lot of sites there, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So here whenever you have free time, minimum 3-4 contents you can read, guys. 3-4 contents you can read. Then all basic fundamentals you are going to get. So editors, basics, here how creating basic program, what is this doc type, what is this HTML, what is the headers, H1 to H6, like this, the basic paragraphs how writing, basic things you are getting, guys. Okay, so headings,
Thank you.
small program, like next CSS. In the CSS how writing, CSS rules are what, like you are going to get. So HTML, CSS, Bootstrap related, some basic content, 3-4 contents you can read. So here can see syntax you are getting, CSS related syntax. Everyone explained bottom. So when you have free time, you can go through like that. Then you will get it more subject. So we are not discussing as all. So many are there. Only one by one. If we are discussing HTML only more than 1 month. Required CSS more than 1 month. JavaScript more than 1 month. Like that. These the front end technologies only more than 6 months required to learn completely. So even though 10 years of real-time experience person also don't know all things, they knows how using internet, how we are getting from internet, they knows. Okay, na? So every
Okay, sir.
property related, lot of values we are getting from the internet only. So for example, border means like this borders we are writing around our content. So this border, 4 sides I want to get, only bottom side I want to get, or only left side I want to get, like that lot of properties there here. Okay, so border with value like this. Each one is what purpose from the internet we are getting and we are adding like that. Okay, see here different types of borders, different designs there. So each design related one style there class. So here outset, none, no, hidden, like a lot of things there. So dotted means dot lines getting, dashed means dash lines getting, solid means a full line you are getting, like that. From the internet we will get it, guys. Okay, na? So okay guys, thank you for this day. I'll meet tomorrow. See you guys.